Hey third graders, welcome to Module 3, Lesson 11. Interpret the unknown in multiplication and division to model and solve problems. So today we're going to be doing word problems using multiplication and division. Our word problems today are going to have more than one step. So get prepared, turn those brains on. Today we're going to be using the RDW strategy to solve word problems. We've been doing this all year, but I really want to highlight it because from now on, you should be doing this even when I don't remind you to do it. Now, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, all the way through, whenever you're doing word problems, especially ones that are a little tricky, I want you to use the RDW process, the read, draw, and write. When you solve word problems, you should always obviously read the word problem first and figure out who are the characters in the story, what's the problem that they're facing, what solution do they want you to find. Remember, the solution is the unknown, what you're trying to find out. So the next step is to draw after you read, and that means that you're going to visualize or picture in your head and on a piece of paper what the problem looks like. This is the part where you're actually going to do your modeling, your tape diagram, your circles and stars, whatever it is that you need to do to figure out what the unknown is and what kind of equation you're going to be using. And then finally, you're going to write. You're going to write your equation and solve for it. And then you're going to write your answer in a complete sentence showing your units. Today's first problem is Asmir buys 8 boxes of 9 candles for his dad's birthday. After putting some candles on the cake, there are 28 candles left. How many candles does Asmir use? I want you to think to yourself right now, as we read through it, who are the characters in this problem? And it would be Asmir. What is the problem that he's facing? So I'm even going to underline some important information. So he buys, so that's like his action, he buys 8 boxes of 9 candles. That of right there kind of makes me think of multiplication. So already I'm kind of thinking about it while I'm reading for his dad's birthday. After, this kind of shows me that maybe it's a 2-step word problem because he's doing one thing, then he's doing another thing. After putting some candles on the cake, there are 29 candles left. Left. That means that it's probably going to be something like a subtraction problem. How many candles does Asmir use? So now I see, this is my unknown. So how many does he use? All right, so now we're going to do our next part of our strategy, draw. So we're going to draw what's going on with Asmir and his candles. Go ahead and on your notes right now, draw a tape diagram of what you think is going on with his candles, something to show with a picture or some kind of diagram what's going on. Press pause and then press play when you're done. If I was doing this, I would do a tape diagram because that's the easiest for me. He's got 8 boxes of 9 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you draw your rectangle ahead of time, you draw one less line than the amount of groups that you need. That is Mason Wilson's trick. All right, Asmir buys 8 boxes of 9 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes of 9. First, when I'm trying to visualize and like draw out what I have, I notice that my first unknown is how many candles I have. So it'd be 8 times 9 equals something. Now we're not using a question mark, we're not using a blank, but now we're going to be using our letter. So I'm going to be doing a C. How have you guys done so far? If you need to go ahead and fix anything that you've done so far or add anything, like if you didn't write any of your equations out, go ahead and do that now. My problem isn't over yet because then after he buys the candles, whatever C equals, then what I have to do, so that number of candles minus 28 is going to be how many candles he uses. And then that's going to be my final answer. So let's go ahead and see what the final answer is. If you haven't done this yet and found out what the final answer is, do it right now. Press pause and press play when you're done. All right, so for me to do this, I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really easy for me to find my 9 times 5, which equals 45. And then now I have 9 times 3 is 27. So 45 plus 27, so I have 12 plus 60, which would be 72. So here, C equals 72. So now I would do 72 minus 28 to equal how many candles he has left over. So I'm going to do this on the side so I can do my borrowing. So 12 take away 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so 4. 6 take away 2 is 4. So Osmir used 44 candles, so his dad must have been 44 years old. We're not done though. We figured out that our answer is 44, but our last step is to do the writing part. We're going to write about our answer and make sure that we put units on our problem. Units is what does our answer mean? 44 what? So we're going to say Osmir used 44 candles. If you didn't do that on your notes yet, do that so that you have completed the RDW process. Really nice job, you guys. Let's try another problem. Our next problem using the RDW strategy is that the fabric store sells 1 meter of cloth for $8. Marielle buys some cloth that costs a total of $56. She then uses 3 meters to sew a dress. How many meters does she have left? So we read through it once. Now let's read through it together and think about the important information. So I know that my character is Marielle and she's buying some cloth. Okay, so I already kind of like can visualize what's going on. I can see her walking into the fabric store and buying some cloth. I know that a meter is about a yard, like about 3 feet long, or 100 centimeters. So I'm like imagining that. All right, so the fabric store sells 1 meter of cloth for $8. So 1 meter for $8. She buys cloth that costs a total of $56. Okay. She then uses 3 meters to sew a dress. And our final question is, how many meters does she have left? So again, left, we're probably subtracting. And then, so now I'm trying to think, okay, if I'm trying to find out how much she has left, this is kind of like the other problem where we have to figure out how much she is beginning with. So we just read through the problem together, thought about what was going on in the problem, and then now we can draw about it. I want you guys to try to do the draw process on your own first. Draw whatever tape diagrams you need to solve the problem. Write down any equations that you need to using an unknown for the information that you don't know yet. Try that first on your own. Press pause and then press play. All right, I'm going to solve the problem. If you were stuck and you see me starting to solve the problem and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get it, feel free to stop my explanation, figure it out on your own, and then press play to see if you got the rest of it right on your own. Feel free to pause this video anytime and do the work on your own, and then press play when you want to check your own work. That's a great study skill. All right, so I know that 1 meter of cloth, so one group, is $8. I know that she buys enough meters so that she ends up spending $56. What I don't know is like how many meters of cloth she bought at the store in the beginning. Did you guys figure that out? something in my reading that I missed the first time was that I see this word then. So that means that there's two different things going on that I need to figure out to find the final answer. So it signals that two-step word problem. One thing happens, then another. All right, so I don't know how many groups of 8 she has. So I look at this and I see a division problem or a multiplication problem, however you were thinking about it. You could have thought of it either as 8 times C equals 56. Or maybe instead of using C for this one, I might use M for meters because that's what I don't know. Or I could think 56 divided by mystery amount of meters equals $8 each. So that would be my first thing to figure out. So let's figure that out. So 56 divided by something equals 8. I'm going to use my fact family. So 8 times M equals 56. So I know that 8 times 5 equals 40. I know that 8 times 6 would be 8 more, which would be 48. I know that 8 times 7 would be 48 plus 8 more, which would get us to 56. Okay, so that means that she bought 7 meters. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 meters that each cost $8 for her 56. So here M equals 7, but we're not done. There's another part of the problem because then she uses 3 meters to sew a dress. So how many meters does she have left? So if each of these is 1 meter, then really I'm just taking away the 3 meters that she used. So we just did 7 meters take away 3 meters equals 4 meters left over. So we just did the draw process. So you can really see that the draw is where we figure out most of the problem. Now we're going to write. We're going to write about our answer. So Marielle has 4 meters left of cloth. Go ahead and add that to your notes if you hadn't written it down automatically after your draw step. Okay, now it's time for your final problem. All right, third graders, it's time for the final problem. Today you're going to be using this to do the RDW process with. Remember, that's what you're going to be doing from now on when you see a word problem. Alex earns $8 each week for doing chores. After 7 weeks, he buys a gift and has $38 left. How much money did he spend on the gift? I'm going to be looking to see if you read the problem to try to understand what the problem was talking about, that you drew out your tape diagram, your equations with the unknown, anything to help you understand what the problem was talking about, and then writing out your answer. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Hasta mañana.